Hi everyone. Yeah, it's late on here, and a little while ago, as you can see on the left, I'm carrying illicit cargo. I'm still in the middle of a run. I've got one more drop off to make, but a little while ago this happened. Trade rank elite. I think by the time I was in the mid 80s%, I decided I was just going to push for it and go anyway. Just do it. So it's going to be the 2.1 is going to be out soon, so I wanted to get there before 2.1 came out, and yeah, so just an update. This is there's probably going to be a more updated video tagged on to the end of this at some point, because I'm not going to publish this now, it's too short. So I'll catch you guys later, and yeah, brilliant. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea and celebrate. Catch you then. Bye bye. Good greetings, Commander Rusty Dog here. Start of a new day. Not really. It is a new day, but it's a new evening here. Yes, so a day or so ago, if I remember to put the video on the front of this one, and God help me if I forgot, I ranked up to Trade Elite. That occurred on, I can't remember the time, it must have been about 2 or 3 in the morning. So it would have been the morning of May the 3rd, because I was playing on May the 2nd, and then it passed midnight, and then of course it's in the early hours of May the 3rd, but your brain still thinks it's May the 2nd. So yeah, May the 3rd, which would have been early Tuesday morning. So yeah, it is now the early hours of the 5th of May, 1:30 in the morning here, GMT +1. So what's happened in between? Well, pretty much nothing. On Elite, nothing. I had, let me try and remember now. From what I can recall, I got Elite status, and I had a mission, one more, yeah, that's right, I had one more mission to deliver, which was to here. So I dropped that mission off, and I logged off for the night and for the next day, because it was a bank holiday, and I'd been cramming in Robigo runs throughout most of the weekend, and when I wasn't doing that, I was watching TV. The snooker was on and everything, so pretty much most of the weekend was me looking at a screen. And by the time I dropped this ship down here, I was out of it, and my head said enough. So I went to work on the Tuesday, came home, I couldn't face the computer screen. It was tough enough at work, because I work in IT as well, so that doesn't help. So yeah, basically I didn't touch Elite the day after, and didn't really have a motivation to, because I'd got my Elite rank, which I decided after around 85, 86%, whatever it was on Tycoon. I thought, I'm just going to go for this. Just do it. Get it over and done with, and then I can be Elite for when the Engineers comes out in a few days. That few days has now been reduced to, well, it'll be today, won't it? So it'll probably be in the next, 17, 18, 19 hours maybe? Wow. time has flew. I haven't played Elite at the moment. I've just actually switched it on. I've been playing Hitman this evening. I'm enjoying the new level in Italy. So I was just taking out a couple of people. One of the contracts I just took 2 people out. One of them was really tricky. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. And my head was kind of doing okay. So I thought I'll pop back into Elite and make this video, because I want to just have a quick talk about 2.1, and then put this video up tonight before 2.1 beta goes live. So that's the situation. So this will be my stats for the end of Elite 2.0. I suspect that I'll be spending all of my time now in 2.1 until it goes final, knowing that nothing I do in 2.1 beta is going to have any effect here. So the stats are this. So yeah, there's the trade rank Elite. Balance is 881 million. 825, 872. Rebuy is 872. Everything's 8s. And the current total assets is 1.6 billion, with an extra almost 38 million on top of that. So I am in a position now with 881 million where I could retain 743 million in the balance if I go out now and buy that A-rated power plant and full shield generator for the Anaconda, which will cost me 138 million to refit, take the old ones out, put the new ones in. It's basically 138 million. So I can easily do that now whenever I want. But right now I'm actually unsure whether I want to go back to Shinrata Desra and start 2.1 beta from there, or attempt a Robigo run with only, say, like 4 missions, maybe 5, and attempt that in 2.1, because I want to see if the mission stacking still works, not the mission stacking, I keep getting them mixed up, the instance swapping, see if that still works or not. If it doesn't work, then I think that's a good thing. Obviously it won't be. I'll be disappointed in one way, because it's basically just a speed up is what it is. It's an exploit that just speeds things up, because everything's too much of a grind in Elite. But if it's not there, I'll be disappointed, but I'll also know it's the right move. It is the right move to stop instance swapping from working, so the bulletin boards are getting refreshed differently every time, rather than players having to wait the 10 minutes for them to change. And yeah, I think that would be I think that's something that Frontier should do, specifically for Robigo. Yeah, definitely. So there's that. In fact, I even think they should increase the wait time to 15 minutes. But the mission boards are all changing now, so it'd be interesting to see what's going on there. But yeah, I'd like to spend the first couple of hours in 2.1 beta doing a Robigo run, because if I get destroyed or whatever by more intelligent, smarter, deadlier ships, it doesn't really matter. I can rebuy and rebuy and rebuy. And then of course I can go back to Shinrata and just do what I said I was going to do, which was equip a fully A-rated Corvette, see how much it costs, test it out, see what I think of it. It's all going to be done at 10% prices, and I know with the engineers everything is going to be available. All the weapon mods, all the module mods, are all going to be available straight away. because they need people to test them all and find the bugs, if any. So yeah, good thing. So now that we've got the stats over with, just going to scroll down. You can feel free to pause the video if you want to check any of these out. I don't think anything's really changed here. There we go. That's that. Okay. What else have we got? So, 2.1. I was watching the Horizons. Horizons? Where did I get that from? I was watching the Frontier live stream number 3. I'd previously watched number 2 when that came out, and I watched 3. And there was some interesting stuff that came up. One specifically for the Robigo run, actually, which surprised me. So I'm guessing that that's not going to be altered too much. But although I don't know if it is specifically for the Robigo run, it might just be when you're carrying a load of illicit cargo, regardless of whether it's from Robigo or any other station. And this is a good fix for me, because it's just annoying, well, for everybody. But it gets rid of those repetitive AI that keeps saying, I have something you might be interested in, please follow my wake, and then you jump into the next system and they follow you in, follow my wake. That's gone. They're blitzing it. It's gone, from what I've heard. Yeehaw. Brilliant. So that's gone. AI? Oh, whoa, well, AI. They're going to be smart enough to be racing or chasing you through canyons on planets. When you're landed on planets, you know, maybe in the middle of nowhere, there will be AI ships flying by and stuff like that, and you may be even skimming across the surface with an AI on your 6 firing, or you might be chasing him. And from what Frontier say, be careful, because they are very good at it. So you better make sure you're in a more maneuverable ship, because they're very good. So I am expecting smarter and more deadlier AI. And that kind of worries me in one way, but I welcome it in another way. And I'm going to be happy that I'm not combat rank elite already, because I'd like to earn my last 50% or 46% with smarter AI. I don't want to know that I've got all the way to elite. I know I'm pretty much there already, so it's kind of a moot point really. But I'd like to know that at least some part of my journey to elite was done with AI that was, you know, that actually gave me a good challenge. Like, I don't know if players in Vultures now, I don't know how they're going to fare against elite anacondas and stuff like that. And I know all the chaffing, the spam chaffing, shall we call it, that the AI like to do isn't going to be there as much. This was all pretty much said in the second live stream. In the third live stream, I am struggling to remember some of the points. I had them all fresh in my memory earlier, but like I said, my head's been a bit out of it the last couple of days. So weapon wise, yeah, different colours, different sounds, different effects. And there's a weapon that will if you hit a ship that is fully shielded, it will just ignore the shields and just start tearing down the hull, no matter what shields the ship has got on. It'll just go straight through the hull. So that's a scary one. That is a real scary one, that is, because it's like, well, what the hell have I just spent 146 million on shields for? Is it 146 or 46 million? whatever, 46 million on A-rated shields, and then this weapon just goes straight through them. Now, the other thing with the weapons is causing a little bit of, I'm not going to say controversy. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't been checking out the forums, but I've been reading a bit on some of the Elite Dangerous groups. And some people are for it, some people are against it. I'm one of the people who are for it. And that is that the weapons that the engineers will generate for you, generate being the word, basically they ask for things like, bring me 5 units of nickel, bring me 4 system plans, bring me 3 blueprints, bring me 2 tons of tea, I don't know, whatever the hell. I think, forget the tea. I think what it is what they ask you to bring are the ingredients to make the weapon. But like when you bake a cake, it doesn't always, it's not exactly the same as it was the last time you made it. So there is a random element to the weapons. So you have sliders such as, if you've seen the live stream, you'll know exactly what all this is about. There's sliders for range and power and jitter and stuff like that. So you could go there and say, okay, I've got all these ingredients, give me this weapon. And they give it to you. And then another commander can go there, say, I've got all these ingredients, give me this weapon. The exact same weapon. But it won't be the same, because those sliders will randomly change. So his might have more range but less power than mine, or whatever. So, but it's not completely random. Apparently there are constraints. So it's not like, it's not a number between 1 and 100. It's probably going to be a number between, let's say 50 and 70, and it'll work within those constraints. It won't be so, it won't be such a wide field of randomization. So again, I think from what I've heard in the live stream and from what I can gather from other news sources, it seems to me that Frontier have so far, from what I can tell, have actually thought this one out really well. There are going to be things occurring in 2.1 that players are going to say, we don't like this. But it's going to take a good few voices saying the same thing. And I think Frontier are going to be quite up for, okay, we'll change that. Okay, we'll change this. Because they might think, okay, we went too far with this one, or we nerfed this bit too much, or we exaggerated that too much. Like this weapon, it's too much. It does too much damage. And if somebody gets hold of it, it alters the balance. And I think this is obviously why the beta is there, so that people can just put their thoughts forward, and if there's other people that agree with them. For example, this weapon, excuse me, my throat's a bit if there's this weapon that ignores the shields, I call it a shield buster. I don't know why it doesn't, because it busts through the shields, but it ignores the shields, goes straight through to the hull. Maybe that'll give too much of an advantage to the player, but you could argue that it's up to the other player to keep up, and maybe they've got a weapon. I mean, there's weapons like mines. I saw an Imperial Clipper pass over a Type 9. Now obviously the speed difference between the two makes it very simple and easy for the Clipper to catch up and be on top of the Type 9. It dropped a mine, and what the mine did was completely jam the frameshift drive. So even though the Type 9's frameshift drive was charging because he wanted to get out of there, this mine just completely stopped it. And what happened was the FSD went offline, came back online, and then the boot up process was a lot slower. So he's kind of stuck there until the FSD gets back online again, by which time he could already be destroyed. The other good thing is, of course, the AI will also have access to modified weapons and modified modules. Now, in the chat on the live stream 3, I was present and I asked a question. I had to ask it about 6 times before it got answered. And I asked, when a player scans another player or an NPC, will they see or will they know from the from here, from the sub-targets, will they know that the player or NPC has got experimental or modified weapons or modules on board? Oh, sorry about that. And the answer is, they will know that the weapons are modified, but they will not know what those modifications are. And I liked that answer. I thought that was good. Because now you know your enemy has got something up its sleeve. And you're not going to know what it is until it hits you. I'm telling you now, 2.1 is a total gameplay changer. Totally. In terms of combat, in terms of well, mainly combat, in terms of NPCs or player versus player. Player versus player is going to be crazy. There's going to be so many YouTube videos coming out showing players fighting other players with all these different modified weapons. And the fact that they're randomized, the effects are randomized, so you don't know. But that brings up another question, doesn't it? The randomized thing. If I have 2 beam lasers or 2 pulse lasers or 2 or 4 multi-cannons, and I say I want to get this experimental, I want to get this shield buster weapon, for example, and the engineer says, okay, bring me 5 of these, 4 of these, 2 of these, and 3 of these, and bring it quickly. I don't know whether that means there's a time limit, but so you go out, you hunt for these things, you come back, and he makes you the weapon. It's a recipe. He makes you the weapon because it's experimental. Does it just get fitted to one of the beams or both? If it's one and there are random effects, does that mean that the left laser can be slightly different to the right laser, even though they're both the same? Let's say they're the shield buster or the impact weapon or whatever it's called. They're both impact lasers. Are they both going to work differently, or are they both going to be fitted exactly the same? And you're going to have modules like thrusters, experimental thrusters, which they actually stated you'll be taking sidewinders up to 1,000 meters per second, which for me begged the question, how fast is a Cobra Mark III going to go? If a sidewinder's doing 1 kilometer a second, what's a Cobra going to do when it boosts with experimental thrusters? And then I got to thinking, just think of players organizing canyon racing or planet surface skimming races at this kind of speed. You're going to be having and I made a comment saying type 9s at 320 meters per second. You might have slow ships being quicker than what are normally fast ships. Like you could have, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like an adder could have modified thrusters and outpace a vulture, or or a Viper or something, you know. And of course, because the thrusters are enhanced, it's going to also have enhanced agility. Another thing somebody pointed out, it was a kind of a comment that just came up and people ignored it, but I spotted this comment and it made me think for a little while. Somebody, because of all the modified weapons and the fact that they're not just statically modified, but that they're modified to give random output, random effects. Somebody commented in the chat, RIP Coriolis.io, as if to say, well, Coriolis.io is no longer, it's surplus to requirements now, we don't need it anymore. But I got to thinking about it and I thought, well, I'm not sure that's the case. Coriolis is brilliant for doing all the stock weapons, and of course you're probably going to get to a stage where a lot of players won't be carrying stock stuff anymore. You know, just give it a few months and most people's ships are going to be modified versions of the stock ones. But initially buying a ship, you have to buy it stock anyway, so Coriolis is there for that. And because it's randomized and because I mean, Coriolis wouldn't have been able to do it anyway, regardless. But I don't think that it kills it off. I think it just carries on doing the job it was designed to do, which was help you build a stock ship and let you know the stats of that stock ship and how much it's going to cost you. So I think Coriolis is going to be fine as it is. I can't really remember too much about it, but definitely watch the live stream 3. It was really informative. They had some good stuff coming, and yeah, I mean, I'm going to work tomorrow or today, and then that's my last day for this week. And then I've got Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to be playing around with 2.1, and then next week I will be working Monday and Tuesday, and then I've got a week off until the following Wednesday. I will be no doubt on Elite, not all the time, because the reason I've got the week off is I've got relatives coming. So they picked a bad week, didn't they? Yeah. I'll have to divide my time. So I'll just have to cram all of my all my 2.1 stuff in as much as I can over this coming weekend. So there we go. That's pretty much where we are. I don't know if this will be my last video at 2.0. Maybe subsequent videos will be in the beta, and then everything after that will be in the final of 2.1. So I'm looking forward to 2.1 and see you in the black in 2.1. And it looks like it's going to be good. We've had to wait for this one. We've really had to wait for this one. But it might turn out that, given Frontier that bit of extra time, it's going to be something cool. We've got ice rings, mining in ice rings, and of course, because you can mine there now, they also act the same as the rocky rings or the asteroid rings, where there will be resource extraction sites there. So again, there'll be HAS-reses inside ice rings now, as well as the current ones that we have. So that's going to be cool, literally. And the graphics will be improved. So if anyone was saving up, going to Sagittarius A or doing a big exploration run, then well done, because the graphics on the planet surfaces are going to be improved, better textures, more misty effects. So you're going to have a more enhanced experience exploring now than in 2.1 than you will have in 2. So I'm kind of pleased that I haven't done my Sagittarius A run yet. I don't know whether that's even going to happen this year. I might cram it in this year at some point. And now that they've enhanced the graphics, there's even more reason to do so. So there's stuff there for explorers, stuff there for combat, and you've got engineers, which can, even if you're not interested in combat, can give you better ship modules that can do also. And believe me, with this engineers thing, where you get the possibilities for doing things to modules and doing things to weapons is kind of, it's got a very wide scope of stuff you can do, or stuff they can add. And I'm just wondering if in the demo that they showed, where they showed the interface of the of one of the engineers and going through the UI and the menus and stuff, did they knowingly give away one of the locations of the engineers, or is that just like a placeholder that they could show? Because if not, then everybody knows where one of the engineers is, at least where one of the systems are. So I don't know, maybe I don't think they should have done that. I think everybody should have started with a blank piece of paper and not have everybody know, oh, here's your first engineer. I think everybody should have started from scratch rather than everybody knowing where one is. If it was just a made up place, in fact, let me check. The system was weird. Yeah, here, you see. So this is where they showed, I don't know why I pressed the root. This is where one of the engineers' bases is located. Now, we don't know where, but it can only be either here, 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 or here. And believe me, the day this hits, everyone's going to be coming here. This place is going to be flooded if Weird is, or Word is the place where there's an engineer. I don't recall. It wasn't Lister. I would have remembered that, being a Red Dwarf fan. It might have been one of these two. So yeah, you've got to locate it, so it'll be everybody looking around like they did for the barnacles. But you know what people are like in the community. Won't take them long. If they're there, it'll get found within 24 hours, I reckon, easy. And then it'll all be on Reddit and Frontier forums, and everyone's going to be flocking here. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, this is Rusty Dog signing off from 2.0, and I will see you all in 2.1. So fly safe and watch out for the new AI, because I don't think they're going to be taking any prisoners or rolling around this time. And I'm looking forward to it with intrepidation, but I am looking forward to it. So there we go. This is Elite Rusty Dog signing off. Until next time, bye bye.